Once your Raspberry Pi has booted up, the first thing we need to do is to ensure that we are connected to the internet. Hover over the Wi-Fi icon and select the appropriate network that you want to connect to and provide the credentials and ensure that you're connected to a network. So once you are connected to a network, whether it be via Wi-Fi or the Ethernet connection, let's go ahead and open a Chromium browser. The first thing that we need to do is set up a free Amazon developer account. So to do that, we're going to go to developer.amazon.com. And once we get to this page, just bear in mind that the look of this page may be slightly different from when the video was filmed. The general concept should remain the same, and especially as we walk through the steps of setting up the developer account and actually registering the device for our Amazon Echo clone, the screens may change slightly, but the concept should remain the same. If something doesn't look right or it is completely incorrect, please send me a message, let me know, and I'll be sure to try to keep the instructions as updated as possible. But bear in mind that these screens can change as Amazon continues to make updates to its site. So go ahead and click on Sign In. And if you do not have an Amazon developer account, you can click on the Create Your Amazon Developer Account. There's a button below. And here you'll be asked to provide your name, email address, and password. Once you have entered that information, you can click on Create Your Developer Account. You may be prompted to verify your email address, and once that's done, your account should be good and ready to go. I already have an account created, so I'm just going to click on the Sign In button here. So now I'm going to enter my email and my password to log in. I'm going to click on Sign In. And once we've logged in, I'm going to click on the Developer Console at the top. And now, the first thing we need to do is click on the Alexa tab at the top. So we click on the Alexa tab. And we're going to click on the Get Started button under Alexa Voice Service. So click on Get Started. This is where you'll see a list of products that have been created by you that use the Alexa voice service. I have a couple that have been created here, but this screen probably would look empty for you. There would be nothing on here. Go ahead and click on the Create Product button. And here we're going to provide some information about the product or the Echo clone that we're going to create. So for the name, let's enter Pi 3 underscore Echo. You can feel free to go ahead and name it anything you want, but you can also go ahead and use the same naming convention that I use. For product ID, we're just going to keep it the same as the product name for simplicity. Pi 3 underscore Echo. Please select your product type. This is an Alexa enabled device, so make sure and check that Alexa enabled device radio button. Will your device use a companion app? Go ahead and check on No. For product category, this is computing. Brief product description, you could put anything that you want in here. I'm just going to type in here a Pi 3 test device. For how users will interact with your product, it's going to be hands-free, so check that checkbox. We do not intend to distribute this commercially, so go ahead and check on No on that radio button. And this is not a children's product, so go ahead and check on No and hit Next. Now we're going to create a security profile. So go ahead and click on Create New Profile. And you have to give your security profile a name. So we're going to name this Pi 3 Echo Profile. And for the description, let's keep it the same as the profile name. So I'm just going to copy that and paste that down there, Pi 3 Echo Profile. You just want to make sure that you make a note of what that profile name is that you are setting up, because you'll have to provide that information later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and open up a text editor so we can make some notes as we go along. So under accessories, we're going to go to the text editor, and here we can put in our profile name. All right, just so that we have it to copy and paste later on. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And the information that you see here is very important. So you'll want to copy this and make it handy because you'll have to use it later on. So the security profile ID, let's go ahead and click on Copy. And we will paste that in our text editor. If you scroll down, you'll also see the client ID and the client secret. These are two very important pieces of information that we need to provide later on. So go ahead and copy the client ID. We can paste that in our document. And next up, let's copy the client secret. And again, we're going to put that in our document. Okay. And now we have to add some allowed origins. So the first allowed origin that we're going to set up is localhost on port 5050. So HTTP localhost colon 5050. We're going to add that. And we're also going to add a second origin using the IP address of our Raspberry Pi. So to get the IP address again, you can hover over the top, the icon for the Wi-Fi connection at the top, or your Ethernet connection if you're connected via Ethernet. And as you can see here, my IP address is 10.0.0.106. Just make a note of what yours is. So we're going to add in that IP address. And we're going to type in colon 5050 for the port at the end. And click on Add. For return URLs, we're going to type in, the first one would be localhost colon 5050. HTTP colon / localhost colon 5050 / code. That would be our first allowed return URL. And the next one will follow a similar pattern, but this time will be our IP address. Colon 5050 / code. Okay, so those are the two allowed origins that we need to enter and the two allowed return URLs. So when you enter those, you have to check on the box to agree to the program requirements and click on Finish. Okay, so now you would have gotten a confirmation that your product has been created, and we can go ahead and click on OK. And you should see that product showing up in your list. In my case, it's the second product that's showing up here. If there are no products that you had previously created, that would be your first product that you'll see in your list. So now that all that administration setup has happened in the developer console. In the next lecture, we'll proceed to install Git and the Alexa Pi software that we will need for our Amazon Echo clone.